Over the years, no matter what project I'm working on, the one question I always get is, will you bring back BattleChasers? BattleChasers is a comic series that I did many years ago. I decided to break away from the superhero genre and create something that really wasn't being done at that time, which is comic books set in a fantasy universe. And it's really been amazing that, over the years, no matter where I am in the world promoting whatever project, I always get asked about it. And so I thought, wow, people actually still want this.
When we first started talking about doing a game based on BattleChasers, we almost all instantly agreed that it should be a JRPG.
We're sort of taking some of the core elements from the classic JRPGs, like the turn-based combat, and giving them a visual polish and production of more modern games. So it's kind of a cool hybrid of old and new.
Airship Syndicate is a small indie studio formed by some of the key members from Vigil Games. People probably know Vigil best for Darksiders 1 and Darksiders 2.
Over the course of over 10 years, I've been working with these guys, and I know there's no other team that can make this game.
Small teams are great. We're all in the same room. Collaboration is instant, and we enjoy the vibe.
It's really exciting to be able to have so much more input and influence on the project.
Talking back and forth about what you're working on day to day and really seeing that immediately happen in the game is really cool and different than working in a big studio.
We're really excited now to put these talented developers to work on bringing BattleChasers Nightwar to life.
The art for the characters was something obviously that's hugely important to me, and Nightwar has the most flawless translation so far of my concept art into 3D.
As these characters are moving through the world, we really want these hand-painted textures, these hand-crafted environments. They feel like they've got as much character in them as the characters do.
I'm personally involved in the creation of every character, and even as far as animation and stuff, we're literally sitting in the same room and talking about what the moves are going to look like.
Up to this point, BattleChasers characters have only been depicted in still images, so it's really fun working with Joe to bring these characters to life.
Nightwar is a companion story to the events of the graphic novel. We wanted to create a game that would be enjoyable to newcomers as well as the longtime fans of the series. A lot of the story is going to be driven by player discovery, old books, dusty scrolls, hidden rooms. They all contain small bits of lore, and they're hidden all throughout the world. When you discover these items, it'll unlock skill points that players can use to upgrade their characters. At really key story moments, we're going to have these awesome traditionally animated cutscenes, which are a great way to see the characters from BattleChasers really come to life.
Once in combat, you'll see the familiar traditional JRPG combat screen, but characters have tide-turning attacks called battle surges, where you get to see them break out of the 2D plane and perform over-the-top moves that really devastate the opponent team. It's a cool chance to see the characters in 3D, and it really showcases the gorgeous hand-painted textures.
We really want resource management to be a key theme in Nightwar, not only in combat, but in dungeon exploration.
We have a 2-tiered mana system. Consists of a long-term mana that lasts for the duration of the dungeon, but also a short-term mana bar that is specific to each combat encounter. Different heroes are going to have different skills that help them deal with traps and monsters that you find in the dungeon, so the party makeup you choose to use when you leave town is going to play a key role in your survival. If you do die, anything not equipped is lost, so rest areas are going to be a really important element because it's your chance to bank a few of the items you have and replenish some of the resources you've spent.
The dungeons are tough. Survival is something that we expect players to have to prepare for before they enter a dungeon. And you can only prepare so much because the dungeons are randomly generated. When you come back to a dungeon again later, you can elect to try it at a higher difficulty, which will affect the way the dungeon is generated, the types of spawns you see, the types of traps you see. Obviously, some things like how hard the creatures are. You're going to go back to dungeons and play them again on some of the higher difficulties. And you're going to see new stuff when you do it.
Kickstarter is an amazing opportunity for developers. We're really lucky to have it now. This game, I don't think, is a game that we could do any other way, to be honest. It's not. It's kind of old school. It's not the hot new thing. It's games that we loved growing up and games that we believe a lot of people still want. And so we're hoping that you will all come together with us and help us get this made and prove to everyone that, these games still deserve to be made today and have the best teams on them.
At Vigil, Darksiders was our love letter to one of our favorite games and genres, Zelda. And this, BattleChasers, is our love letter to JRPGs.
as soon as there's one big success, there'll be more. So let's get these games back in the spotlight.